keynote September 10, 2019. Actually, was it a keynote or was it a special event? Whatever, on my stream, at least the one I watched, it said special event, not keynote. I don't know if it's different or anything. Is he done? Two things really I want to talk about. The Apple Watch and... Alright, let's hope that's over. As I was saying, the Apple Watch and the new iPhone. Those are the two key I want to talk about. There was the arcade, the Apple TV, and what else? The iPad. That it doesn't really excite me in any way, so I'm going to talk about the two things that really grab my attention, which I assume is how most people feel, the Apple Watch and the new iPhone. So visually or aesthetically and design-wise, the Apple Series 5 watch basically changed nothing. It's exactly what you get with the Series 4. Looks-wise, looks the same. They didn't make it any bigger, smaller, anything like that. The really cool thing they did, and I actually it's simple, but yet it means so much. It'll mean a lot to a lot of people. Oh, these dogs. It's so simple, but it'll mean a lot to a lot of people, which is the always-on screen.
Featuring an innovative new display that is always on. You'll always be able to see your time and complications while still maintaining the same all-day 18-hour battery life.
So instead of with this, if I slap it, it's off, right? If I tap it, it's there, and if I turn it away and then I turn it back, it's there. With the always-on functionality, it'll always be on. It dims a lot, which will allow it to have that 18-hour battery life, but the fact that it just stays on, it saves so many times when, especially if you're an avid Apple Watch user, from trying to get it to turn on by flicking your wrist, and then you gotta start tapping at it. That's not enjoyable at all. The fact that they're going down the route of always having it on, I think it's genius. They had a really good video of someone in a workout trying to look at their watch, and it was right there. You can see your time, whatever's going on in the workout.
So you'll be able to see your workout metrics without raising your wrist. Next.
The kind of user story was on a subway. If you're hanging on to the pole or whatever you call that, the watch is ready to go. So if you're hanging on there, you look up, you see your time, you see your text, whatever it is. You don't have to let go or try to do this. Like right now, it's not even turning on. Oh, there it is. Just that always on capability is really nice. I really like it. I think it's really smart. Will it be a reason I go from the Series 4 to the Series 5? Probably not. I don't think it's enough of a game changer to really warrant an upgrade, at least in my mind. Will that difference make a lot of people want it? Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to wait for the sales to really show that. I really like this watch. The Series 4 does everything I personally need it to, and I actually take mine off when I work out. I don't really track any of that, so I don't really need the always on functionality. It's cool, but it's not something I need. Now for the exciting part.
iPhone. This is iPhone 11, the next generation of iPhone.
This is the iPhone 10. It's not the 10R or the 10S. For the first time in a long time, once I got this and they released the 10R and the 10S, it didn't get me going at all. I wasn't interested in upgrading, didn't even think about it. Now here comes the iPhone 11. It's the first time in a while that I've actually gotten excited, and the reason being is the tougher glass, I hope, is actually tougher. This is so darn weak that what was the stat? Yeah, it says toughest glass ever. What is that relative to? Is it relative to this? Because this isn't very strong. So if it's tougher than this, it probably should be tougher by a lot. But if it's tougher than its competitors, that could be good. Now let's talk about what really excited me is this. The camera on the iPhone 11. First, that ultra-wide iPhone 11 camera.
And we have a new ultra-wide camera with a 120-degree field of view. Then you can simply tap to switch to the ultra-wide, revealing more of your scene.
That is awesome. I can think of so many times just over the years of people trying to take a selfie, a photo of any kind, and they can't like back up enough, or their arm's not long enough, and it makes for a poor shot. And having that double wide camera lens is genius. It's no revolutionary idea, but for an iPhone user and someone that uses the camera a lot, that's awesome. I love it. And it's basically like this. So like I have a 18 to 10 millimeter lens on this. Do this, now you're a lot closer to me. Ideally, I wouldn't like this. I'd have to change my whole setup. I'd have to back everything up. But on the next iPhone, I could just zoom out, and And there you go. So it's basically just like that. I think it's gonna be insane. I'm gonna make, and I'm gonna pre-order the iPhone 11 Pro. Maybe not the Max. The Max, I've seen my brother's iPhone 10 Max, and it's huge. Like, I already think this is kind of big, so I'm probably just gonna stick with the Pro just because I want that camera. I'm gonna pre-order it on Friday. I hope I get the pre-order. Sometimes you can't. I want to do a video of vlogging with that camera, because I think with that wide angle lens that they're gonna have, I think that could be the new go-to for a lot of vloggers, and especially with the improved mic and everything like that. Maybe having a DSLR or a bigger camera, even mirrorless, whatever it is, maybe that's kind of the way of the past. Maybe just having your iPhone as your vlogging camera is the way of the future. And especially with DJI Osmo and all those stabilizers, which I already have, it'll be really fun to make a video of kind of a day in the life of vlogging with an iPhone 11. I think it could really work well, and I'm excited to make that video. Now let's go over some small details. I was taking some notes. The Portrait Mode enhancements, they showed a dog in the Porsche Mode. I don't use that a lot.
So now you can also take portraits of your favorite pets.
But maybe a lot of people are frustrated that they can't do portrait modes of their dog. So maybe that's important. Yeah, I mean, it looked cool. So, and the dog was kind of cute. So night mode, that was pretty cool. They had like a lamp on in the corner, everything looked black, and then they switched it to night mode and everything was lit up. It looked great too. So that's pretty cool. It'd be one thing if it brightened it up, but it looked like crap. Who really cares? It brightened it all up and it looked really good. So good on them.
Here's an image with night mode turned off. Here it is with night mode turned on.
They showed a really good video. It was clearly in the Utah Salt Flats, car, driving, whatever it was, and it was all filmed on the iPhone 11, and it actually looked really smooth. They say the internal stabilization in the camera is really good. Maybe the person just filming it had a really steady hand when doing it, because personally, I have pretty shaky hands. So if I was doing that, I'd be all over the place and it would look terrible trying to edit that out or whatever. So it'd be really cool if it's really that good, especially if it's just like handheld like this. I probably would use the Osmo or something like that to balance it out to help with that stabilization. But I mean, if it's that good, that'll be amazing. Little just specs things, 4K P60 will be with the wide angle and the normal, so that's really cool. So that'll look really, really good. Personally, if I vlogged with that camera, I probably wouldn't go 4K P60, because if you didn't know this, movies are filmed in 1080p 30, because that's the most appealing to the human eye, and the way they format movies, it looks the best. There's a reason why movies aren't in 4K P60, it just looks kind of odd. I personally wouldn't film in 4K P60 all the time, just because that's a ton of memory that you'd have to deal with all the time, and just space, and you'd have to have so many external hard drives, and that would just be a nightmare. But it's still cool that it has those capabilities in both, oh, this one didn't break, in both the regular and the wide angle. Just in general, I'm really excited for the iPhone 11. It's the first time I've been excited for an iPhone in a while. Do you want to come up? I got a little visitor. You want to say hi? Like I was saying, it's the first time I've been excited for a new released iPhone in a long time. I don't think the camera, that 3-piece camera on the back, really looks that funky, but I kind of like bold and weird. So to me, it looks really cool, and I'm excited to get my hands on it. I'm excited to vlog with it, or at least try that out and see how that goes. And yeah, I really hope I get that pre-order on Friday. Anything else I want to talk about? I know they talked a lot about this side note, and I'm basically done, but they talked a lot about the Apple Arcade and mobile gaming. Is mobile gaming really like that big? Personally, like growing up on an Xbox or a PlayStation, whatever it was, I liked a controller in hand, a TV and everything. I personally hate playing games on this thing. It always destroys my battery. I just don't really enjoy how it feels. Then you get fingerprints are all over the screen and everything like that. But I mean, if it's a growing industry, I clearly don't know about it, but I'm actually very intrigued to see how Apple Arcade does and to see what the future of kind of mobile gaming really is. Oh, and then Apple TV Plus, the on-demand service they're gonna release, they've got partnerships with like Oprah and Jennifer Aniston and some big names. I think it'll do very well. Personally, just being a complete Apple fanboy, I have so many Apple products. I'm totally consumed by that, whatever they call the ecosystem of Apple. I have a HomePod, I have an iPhone, I have an Apple Watch, so it's just, I'm so stuck in it. I would definitely try try out and pay for the Apple TV Plus. I think their content will be really good. They're really good at basically everything they do, minus the HomePod and Siri standalones, I guess. I'm interested to see how they kind of go with Apple TV Plus. Will it be heavily just their own shows, movies, whatever, or will they pick up a lot of shows that maybe Netflix loses or Hulu loses? I don't know. How they'll compete in that space will be very interesting to see. Yeah, I think that's it. I hope you enjoyed my little mini recap rant on today's Apple keynote or special event, whatever you want to call it. I'll see you guys for the next video.